Welcome, everyone. Today, I am excited to introduce our presentation on operating systems. This is the first slide, the cover slide, so I want to warmly welcome you all. We'll be exploring what an operating system is, its key functions, and why it's so essential. So, over the next few minutes, we'll cover the basics, some interesting facts, and practical insights. Let's get started. Let's take a look at the contents of today's presentation. First, we'll go through the overall flow of what we'll be discussing. Then, we'll explore some popular operating systems that you might already be familiar with. After that, we'll focus on the main functions of an operating system, which is the core topic of this session. Following that, we'll wrap up with a conclusion to summarize what we've learned. And finally, we'll have a thank you at the end. Now, since this is the second slide, it serves as a roadmap, helping you understand how all the pieces fit together in our discussion about operating systems. So, as we move forward, keep in mind the structure we've outlined here to better follow along with the details. Let's take a closer look at the flow of this presentation. First, we'll start with an introduction to the operating system. As I mentioned earlier, the operating system is an integrated set of programs. Its main role is to control the resources of a computer system, things like the CPU, memory, storage devices, and peripherals. But it's not just about control. It also provides a user interface, or a virtual machine, that makes using the computer much easier than dealing with the raw hardware directly. Now, here's a key point. The operating system is software. That's what makes a computer actually work. Without it, the hardware is just a collection of electronic components. It's the OS that enables all the other programs we use daily, whether it's a web browser, a word processor, or a game to run smoothly. And to connect this to the overall theme, think of the operating system as a bridge. It links application programs, what we interact with, to the underlying machine hardware. This bridging role is what allows us to focus on what we want to do, rather than worrying about how the hardware actually operates behind the scenes. Now, let's take a closer look at the structure of an operating system and its primary objectives. The first main goal is to make a computer system easier to use. How does it do that? Well, an operating system hides the complex details of hardware resources from programmers and users. Think of it as a friendly guide that provides a simple, convenient interface, so interacting with the computer becomes much more straightforward and less intimidating. The second key objective is resource management. The operating system acts like a skilled manager, overseeing all the resources of the computer, be it CPU time, memory, or input-output devices. Its goal here is to ensure that these resources are shared efficiently and fairly among all users and programs. This balance is crucial because it keeps the system running smoothly and ensures everyone gets a fair share of the available resources. Connecting these points to our overall theme, these objectives highlight how the operating system is fundamentally about simplifying user experience while maintaining optimal system performance through effective resource management. Let's take a closer look at the structure of an operating system, starting with the diagram. At the top, we see the users and other systems. These represent the external entities that interact with the operating system. Users could be people, applications, or other systems that need to access hardware and software resources. The other system might be external devices or networks that communicate with our main system. Moving inward, we have the operating system itself. This is the core software that manages all the hardware and provides services to users and other systems. Think of it as the bridge between the hardware and the applications or users. At the bottom, we see the computer hardware. This includes the physical components, CPU, memory, storage devices, input-output devices, that do the actual work. The operating system acts as an intermediary, making hardware easier to use and manage. Overall, this diagram illustrates how the operating system sits at the center, coordinating between users, other systems, and the hardware. It's fundamental to understanding how computers function seamlessly, providing a layer of abstraction and control. Now, let's take a closer look at the main functions of the operating system. As you can see, The OS is made up of several distinct modules, each responsible for a specific task that keeps the system running smoothly. First, we have process management. This module handles creating and deleting processes, which are essentially the active tasks or programs running on your computer. It also provides mechanisms for processes to communicate and synchronize with each other, ensuring they work together efficiently without conflicts. Next is memory management. This part of the OS manages the allocation and deallocation of memory space. Whenever a program needs memory to run, the memory management module makes sure it gets the right amount, and when the program finishes, it frees that memory up for other tasks. Then there's file management. This module is responsible for organizing files, storing and retrieving data, and managing how files are named, shared, and protected. It keeps everything orderly so users and programs can easily access their data when needed. Security is another crucial function. The security module safeguards the system's resources and information from unauthorized access or potential destruction. It ensures that only authorized users can access sensitive data, helping to maintain the integrity and confidentiality of the system. Finally, we have command interpretation. This module translates user commands into actions the system can understand. It directs system resources accordingly, making sure your instructions are executed correctly and efficiently. All these functions work together as parts of a cohesive whole, supporting the overall goal of an operating system, to manage hardware and software resources seamlessly, so users can work efficiently and securely. Now, let's explore some popular types of operating systems. Operating systems can be classified into different categories based on how they manage users and resources. The first type is the single-user systems. These are typically associated with desktop operating systems, which run on standalone computers. They don't require multiple user accounts, making them simple and straightforward to use. A good example of this is DOS, which many of us might remember from earlier computers. Moving on, the second type is multi-user systems. These systems are designed to support multiple users at the same time. They maintain a database of known users and regulate access accordingly, ensuring that each user can work simultaneously without interference. Think of systems like Unix or Microsoft Windows NT. These are powerful environments used in servers and larger networks where multiple users need to access resources at once. Understanding these classifications helps us see how operating systems are tailored to different needs, whether for individual use or for supporting many users simultaneously. It's a key part of how we manage resources and ensure smooth operation across various computing environments. Now, let's wrap things up with the conclusion. Without an operating system, computers simply can't run applications, and that means we can't do our work or access many of the functionalities we rely on daily. The operating system acts as the essential bridge between the hardware and the software, making everything work smoothly. So, the key takeaway here is that the operating system is incredibly important in a computer's operation. It's what enables us to use our devices effectively and efficiently. Remember, without it, computers would be just powerful machines that can't do much on their own. This highlights why understanding the role of operating systems is fundamental to grasping how computers function in our tech-driven world.